Good afternoon, I'm Cassie Hausauer with Lipstick and Cowboy Boots. Today we're in the Canadian Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame in Ponoka, Alberta, and I'm with President of Leather and Lace, Lacey Shaw. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Cassie.
You're welcome. So today we're going to be discussing the Breeze and the Runaway. How fast did these slots sell out?
So the Runaway was done based on a Facebook post. So I opened the post at 6 p.m. and then you would comment accordingly how many slots you wanted. And the event sold out in under 60 seconds. And it crashed people's phones, people's computers, mine went black. It was unreal. It was completely sold over twice over in 2 minutes. At the 2-minute mark, I actually closed the post because we were beyond sold out. And even Facebook had difficulty because everybody posted at once to figure out that microsecond of who was slightly above. It actually filtered through and changed where people's standings were that evening. So that's how close things were.
How much did that event end up paying out?
So it ended up paying out $102,000 cash, and that's a standard cash that will pay out exactly the same every single year. We had 11,715 spectator draws, so if you were in attendance, you got to choose what draw you want, throw your name in, and we had $35,000 in prizes for our contestants. So in total, it was $150,000 in one night. The really interesting thing about the spectator draws was, if you were in attendance and you got to do that, we had 13 stud draws that you got to choose from. So that is a really neat place we had studs from US and Canada, and so farmers, ranchers, people that have these mares, you get to show up, you get to watch a cool event, enjoy your friends, and you win a brand new horse. Like a lot of people do have those mares, and these are quality stallions that we're seeing across Canada and the US come here. Like, where else can you come and just get a free horse, right?
Exactly.
So it's really neat to see, and I'm very thankful for our sponsors because they've been unbelievably generous to us. So
wow, that's great. So why are we doing 150 slots instead of a traditional 50 slot race?
the 50 slot race is in there. It's just 50 slots per division.
Okay.
So the Runaway is 3 divisions, so it's technically 50 for each division. Same with the Breeze, so it's just slightly over 50 per division.
Okay.
The nice thing about it is each division pays out equally. So it doesn't matter if you win first in the 1D or first in the 3D, it pays out the same. First place is $20,000 across the board for Runaway and $50,000 for the Breeze across the board. The odds of winning are really amazing too. It's a 14-to-1 odds, so you do have that chance. I mean, if you think about it, you're standing against 14 competitors. A few of those are going to knock barrels. A few more might have not the greatest day or didn't get enough sleep or this or that. That changes your odds considerably. You might be looking at 10-to-1 or 8-to-1, and all you have to do is be prepared and run, right? I hear a lot that if you don't have a horse that can set the pace, it's a gamble. And I think, no. It's a gamble regardless.
Yes.
I mean, a 1D horse, you better be perfect, and especially for $50,000 or $20,000, there isn't room for you to have a bad issue or this or that. So I think there's a lot of uncontrollables that can happen, right? A 2 or 3D, you're more likely to be able to make that up, right? But when you make a run on a 2 to 3D horse, you're looking that your time sticks. At the end of the day, as soon as you come out, you're thinking, is that the time that's going to make it? But that's no different for a 1D person. When they come out of the arena, they've got to do the exact same thing, because for $50,000 or $20,000, there could be 8 more girls at that time. It doesn't matter what you ride. And I think that thought process limits your earning capabilities. A perfect example of that is a race up north. It was a high stakes slot race. One person won the 3. One person won the entire division.
Wow.
The entire division. They won 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. They won the entire division. They were the only person in the 3D. And they actually took away more cash than the person who set the pace. So this idea that if you don't have the best, you shouldn't enter, one person won the 3D.
Exactly.
Because of that.
The race that you're going to have this summer, the Breeze. Tell us about that and what it's supposed to be paying out.
So the Breeze pays out $180,000 cash. That's before prizes or sponsorship and so forth.
That is a lot of money.
Yeah, in one night, yes it is.
Wow.
$282,000 in total for the weekend between the Breeze on Saturday.
So for a lot of people, $1,780 for one run, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, and I don't at all disagree with that. But I like to call it the $40 jackpot syndrome.
Okay.
Where you walk by your dresser and you grab the $40 and you go to the jackpot and you're like, my jackpots only cost me $40.
Yeah.
They don't. You still have your fill to get there and your membership costs and so on and so forth. So on average, you're looking at, say, a local, like just averaging it out, $40 for fuel, $40 for an entry fee. You're looking at $80. Well, most series that you attend, just your regular series, will require about 10 jackpots. That's $800. And then there's the finals, and you can't. And so I started to look at my own finances, and I looked at it, and I'm like, I'm spending $3,000 to $5,000 going to local jackpots on a Saturday because I have a full-time job, and I don't have time to commit for everything, and I want to, I still want to be able to go and do what I want to do. I never break even. I never break even. I never, and I mean, don't even think about making money. I never break even. So I'm already wasting $3,000 to $5,000, but I've never given my chance to win anything. Right? If I win everything, I'm still not going to make 50 grand. So if I'm paying that anyways, why not give myself a chance to win 50 grand or 20 grand or, like a substantial amount? And I also have to say, for rodeos, the same way. I've talked to a lot of pros that have been in the industry for decades, and they'll say $20,000 for your entry fees and your fuel to get down the road, and that's not counting if you make it to the CFR. That's not counting your bet fees. They'll say, another person would say, if you don't have $500 to go to the next rodeo, you're not going to make it through the season. Like, you've had to budget that. So this idea, and it's like, again, I say, if you're going to all those rodeos and you're losing, then you're losing the money anyways. It doesn't matter if it's $17.80 on one run or if it's $60 through how many other runs. Do you know what I mean? If you're losing. Now, if you're winning, why are you not entering? If you're winning, why would you not enter?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like $50,000 can pay for 2.5 years of rodeo seasons free and clear. For some people, that's a pro horse to then go pro, or that's a life changer, right? So again, you're either losing it anyways, you're just losing it slower, or you have the chance to win it. And again, everyone's finances is their own. They choose to do what they want. That's the thing. I like jackpots because I can choose to do what I want. But the $40 syndrome, once I added it up, I was like, I'm going for 50 grand.
Why not?
Right?
You have the opportunity.
And I don't want to spend 20 to do it, so what's the cheapest way to make 50 grand, right?
Exactly. Oh, okay.
So-
So then how does that work? If I were to buy a slot or get on the wait list for the slot, do I have to run in the race, or can I rent it to someone, or how does that work?
It's it's really neat, and I've seen some really cool things that have done with it. As owners, I've also seen this year a lot of owners just actually offer their slots just straight across the board. Another interesting thing is there is a percentage. So what I've seen people do, like last year we had a slot owner, a horse owner, and a jockey. And they all got together and shared the pot from that point. So there's some really cool things. Another lady just told me that she's actually got her horse and she's going to have her trainer ride it to get that best potential, and they're going to kind of go from that point. So it's really interesting the combinations that you can come up with. It's not just about, I have a horse and I must ride. It's however you want to work it. You might have a great horse, or you might be a great rider.
Do you believe that Alberta can host a true 50 slot, pay out the top 10 kind of slot race?
Yes.
Yes?
And I've already been banging around the numbers in my own head.
Good.
I do think it's a 5 to 8 year plan. Right now, we have owners that are absolutely competitors in this race are absolutely selling. These competitors have gone out and got personal trainers, have got trainers. They've taken the ride into the next level, and you're seeing a group of competitors that usually never even crossed your radar on a jackpot now taking buckles. There's a new level of competitor in Canada and starting to coming up from the States too, but I'm always partial to Canadians, right? And just whoever's around here. And I look at that and I think in 2016, they brought it. They were fierce competitors, like unreal, the energy that was in this building. And I think that very soon the industry known people are going to be very scared to come up here and race these competitors, because it's just, they're unbelievable, and the sky is the limit.
Perfect.
So definitely, but it's
Going to take some time.
and it's going to be big.
Good.
So
That's
you
so
got to do it
exciting.
right, for sure.
So the Breeze and the Runaway are going to be on the same weekend together.
Yes.
Can you tell us what weekends that are going to be?
It's July 29th and 30th.
Okay.
So 29th at 6 p.m. runs the Breeze,
Okay.
and 30th at 1 p.m. runs the Runaway.
Awesome.
So, and the Breeze has the full thing. Like, we have DJ, we have music, we have gifts. Like I said, there's tons of sponsor draws again. We're looking at the stallion draws, so if you do have a mare or you know anyone, like there's a lot of farmers and ranchers out there that could really benefit from something like this. It's free. It was a ton of fun. We're having a cabaret afterwards.
Great.
So everybody can dance and have fun. We're looking at doing either a DJ or a band. It's just getting started.
It's going to be a great weekend. Well, thank you so much, Lacey.
Thank
I'm really
you.
glad we got to get together. This has been great.
I really appreciate everything.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.